The spirit of the holidays. For me, that's love in action. Every time that we give, every time we love, we are embracing that spirit. So you know what that means, y'all. We have limitless opportunities throughout the year to be and live the spirit of the holidays. It's not just between Thanksgiving and December 31st. And I can't think of any place that I'd rather be and live the spirit than right here this morning. I am receiving the very best gift right now, and I'm so appreciative. And Britt can tell you we were thinking about getting me a Christmas sash because I love the holidays. And I especially love the Dear Santa letters that the kids write. And a friend of my husband's from college posted his daughter's letter on Facebook, and I love it. And many of you have heard me talk about this letter often. And it reads, Dear Santa, my name is Chelsea, and I'm 6 years old. But you probably know that already because you're Santa. For Christmas, I want a magic set, but it has to have a magic wand. I want an iPod, snuggable Heelys, a Jack-in-the-Box, but please don't give it a scary clown face like Chelsea's. And best, but not least, squeakies. Oh, and Santa, surprise me. All right? And thank you for all the presents. Love, Grace. Do you not just want to bite her? You've never even seen her, you just want to bite her. What I love about that letter is right off the bat, she knows what she wants. She doesn't want just any MP3 player, she wants an iPod. Her magic set, a magic wand. Her Heelys need to be snuggable. I still don't know what those are, but they sound great. The word snuggle. And I love that Grace knows what she does not want. Please, I do not want a scary clown face on my Jack-in-the-Box. And I can't say that I blame her, because clowns kind of freak me out a little. But then she wants to be surprised. And I love that, because she trusts that Santa Claus knows the right and perfect gift for her. And she's not worried about how. She is not worried about how the gifts are going to get from the North Pole to under her tree. And then she signs off, thanking Santa before she's received anything. And then she shares what, in my opinion, is the greatest power we have. It's innate in all of us, love. It's fabulous. Children are so very smart, so very connected to spirit, aren't they? So what do y'all think Grace did Christmas Eve, Friday night before she went to bed? And if you celebrated Christmas as a child, think about what you were doing Christmas Eve. Besides trying to figure out how you were going to stay awake so that you could hear Santa's sleigh bells, or maybe catch him putting the presents under the tree, most of us were putting out cookies and milk and carrots for the reindeer, some other goodies, because we knew how hard Santa and those reindeers were working. And didn't they deserve to have some surprises and some gifts of their own? And I remember one of the letters that I wrote to Santa. My mom reminded me of it recently when she was here. And after thanking him for whatever he was going to bring me, if by some miracle it was my Easy Bake Oven, ooh, I was making the cookies next year, especially for him. These were our expressions of gratitude and giving back before we received, something we learned when we were very young. And even as we got older, and the things on our Christmas list changed, we wanted different things, the process didn't change. We were still specific. We were still descriptive. We still said thank you before we received, and we figured out a way to give back. We, as children, didn't wrap our brains around settling or an attitude, what it even was, to think less than. And it makes me think a lot why, as adults, we stopped writing Christmas lists. Is it because we're adults? We're grown-ups. We are too old to be writing those lists. Those are just for kids. I wonder if it's that many people don't think it's okay to want a dynamic and delicious life. Maybe we don't think we deserve it. And then, because I know I've been there are times we can't imagine asking for anything, especially if it's a divine dream or idea, having that manifested that is magnificent and amazing. And when I feel like that, and it does happen, I am grateful because I know what God's response to me is each and every time, and it'll be the same response for you. You are amazing. You are magnificent. You are beautiful. You are good. You are love. And oh yes, most definitely, you are deserving. Isn't that wonderful to know? Now, the other thing I love about the holidays, we talked about a little bit this morning, all the Lifetime Christmas specials and the music specials. And I don't have a lot of time to watch the TV live, so I record. Now, what's the great thing about recording is you fast forward through those commercials, right? Except a little problem happened during this holiday season. I actually liked a commercial. And so instead of fast forwarding through the commercials, I was fast forwarding through all the shows that we had recorded. So because I needed to see the commercial again and again. And I don't know if you saw it, but it was the BMW commercial. And it's set up in 3 scenes. The first scene, little boy and his mom, and they're at a toy store. And he is facing the display window. And man, is there a train set there. And it's going around the track, and there's steam rising from the engine, and the whistle is blowing, and this is the right and perfect train set. Guess where Mom is? Mom's behind him. And she's got a box train set. And she says, hey, this is just as good, right? And the little boy doesn't even look back at his mom. No, it's not. The next scene, this little boy is now a teenager. And he's in a music store with his dad. And he is holding an electric guitar. And the way he is admiring that electric guitar, you know he is imagining what he could create with that. And his dad's behind him with a different guitar. And his dad says, hey, this is just as good. No, it's not. And now the teenage boy is a grown man, and he is at that car dealership, and before him is this gorgeous silver Beamer. And he is just, you can just see the light in his eyes. And the salesperson stands next to him and says, asks, is this the one? Without a pause, yes, this is the one. And the commercial ends, and he is in that car, and he's driving off into the country. I love that commercial. I love what it represents, and it was so much symbolism for me. So if you're like me, and you see something you like on TV, what's the first thing you do? You go to Google and see if you can find it online. And I searched everywhere. I couldn't find it. But what I did find actually surprised me. There were websites dedicated to the discussion of this commercial. BMW commercial. And it was about 50-50. The first half, they believed that the little boy was spoiled. Right? Selfish, unappreciative, and he grew into a self-centered male. One person actually commented that if I had told my parents that a gift they bought me was not good enough, I would have been spanked, grounded, and justifiably so. Okay. Then there were people like myself who we couldn't have cared less that it was about BMW at all. What we saw was a little boy who became a teenager, who became an adult, who never stopped dreaming, who never stopped believing. who didn't accept less than or settling. I saw a little boy that probably saved a lot of pennies and allowances, and a teenage boy who probably mowed a lot of lawns, and a grown adult who probably saved a lot of paychecks. And they didn't stop visualizing, and they didn't stop imagining, and they did not ignore what they were feeling, what Spirit was telling them. I imagined that that little boy had pictures that he had cut out of train sets, that teenage boy, that he had music and his favorite artists all around his room, and then that grown adult, he imagined driving and enjoying the beautiful countryside. How interesting that one commercial, one moment, is seen in completely different ways. Because we have the power to choose. We have the power on how we receive and we learn from these moments. Now, where's Antonio? Hi! I love him. He is so talented, and he just finished singing one of my favorite holiday songs, my grown-up Christmas list. Interesting title for my talk today. And I listened to it all year long because I don't think that it's just about the holidays. It just embraces peace and hope and joy and love. And I'm not going to sing it again, but I'm going to tell you some of my favorite lines. First is, well, I'm all grown up now and still need help somehow. I'm not a child, but my heart still can dream. We all say that part with me? My heart still can dream? My heart still can dream. Well, of course it can. There's no age limit on dreaming. God doesn't want us to stop dreaming. If God wanted us to stop dreaming, He would not have given us the power of imagination. And not only does God want us to dream, He wants us to dream big, huge. And as far as I'm concerned, we need to be dreaming the way we did when we were children, because we did not put limitations or boundaries on ourselves. And then, each and every one of us were graced and blessed by God with unique skills, talents, gifts, and I hope that you all are aware of them. What yours are. Because guess what? God wants you to celebrate and own who and what you are. And as far as in the song where it says, and I need help somehow, guess what? We've got it. Isn't it wonderful and comforting to know that we are never alone? God and I, God and you are one. And when we know this oneness, and when we breathe this oneness, when we live this oneness, we hear God's wisdom, His guidance, and we feel tremendous amounts of joy and love. And I also like the lines of, well, here's my lifelong wish, my grown-up Christmas list. Not for myself, but for a world in need. Absolutely. Absolutely. Giving back before we receive is a big part of living in that flow. And I know that you've heard it said on stage many times, you can't outgive God, right? You can't outgive God. And the thank you letter's not up here anymore. But just think what we all as a spiritual community did. Spirit led us to give to a group of children who were in need, who wanted food, Christmas, and you all came together and you did that. You collected $1,600. To me, I find that extraordinary. And that is definitely the part of the Christmas list. What are you giving back? How are you going to be the change that you want to see in the world? And all those yummy and delicious skills and gifts and talents that you have, God wants you to use them toward things like volunteerism, the betterment of your communities. But please know that your list should also have what you want, because you are deserving. And as you are writing those lists, make sure you're like Grace in her letter to Santa. Be specific. Don't put, well, if you got the time. Maybe. Something sort of like this. Be specific. And thank God for the good that's in your life right now, the good that you know is coming. And thank God for the realization of these divine dreams that are going to be manifested. Because guess what? They will be manifested.